Hello, gorgeous ladies. Karen McCoy here. Welcome back to Warrior Woman podcast. Today, I want to talk about reaching your goals through your value system. Okay, so we always talk about reaching our goals. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to have a better relationship with food. I want to have a more shapely body. I want to have tighter glutes, whatever it happens to be. What happens is when we're reaching for a goal, there's often the end result. Well, I'll be happy when I lose the 20 pounds. I'll be happy when I have a tighter butt. And so that's fine, but it is the process that where all the learning is. And so the destination, sure, it's fun, but I'll tell you, once you get there, you're going to want something else. There's always going to be something else because change is a constant and we're constantly in motion, right? And so this is where I say, I want you to look at what do you value? Okay. When you value your body, when you value health, you are going to want to move your body. You're going to want to feed it well. So rather than look at a goal of losing 20 pounds, look at the value of learning how to nourish your body in healthy ways that's going to make you look and feel great. So when we put it in a narrative that has a stronger life affirming focus, then it becomes a lifestyle. And that lifestyle, that value system is super, super important to us. Now, you really have to be careful about values, though, because you can't just espouse values without living them. Now, we see this all the time. Okay, we've seen this a lot in political field, in business, in government, in institutions, all that kind of stuff. Saying one thing and doing another just creates havoc in the body and the brain, and you will fall to the lower levels of shame, guilt, anger, frustration, confusion, all that kind of stuff. Yet here we are trying to create a healthy body and a healthy life coming from those lower levels. It doesn't work. And it's going to repeat itself on you until you get it right. And some people never get it right, guys. So it's really important that we look at values. So my values in my health and wellness life have been about discipline, commitment, tenacity, focus, vision, patience, and a promise to self. My dad taught me this a long, long time ago. I remember he left this world far too early. I was only 21 when he died, but he did give me some gems. And one of those gems is this. When he said to me, I'm really proud of you. If I got an A or A plus or whatever in school, he said, I'm really proud of you. But he said to me, I want you to be proud of you. And I went, oh, that's different. It makes sense. I want to make me proud of me. I had a lot of years where I didn't make myself proud, guys. And some of you guys know my story around drugs and alcohol and bad men and stuff like that. And so I have that juxtaposition where I lived the other world. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm not going back there. I lived another world of binging with food too. It's like, I'm not going back there. I don't want to feel that again. I want to be over here. And that is one of the values, vision and perspective, perhaps, that keeps me on track in living differently than the majority, thinking differently than the majority, and living a healthy life that I'm always taking action on every day with movement and food and mindset meditation. Super, super important to me because I know what it's like to live over there. You don't have to live over there to appreciate living in this way. I want to share something with you. We do a lot of reading in my mastery program. And we look at a lot of thought leaders. And one of my favorite ones is Jay Shetty. This is called Think Like a Monk, Jay Shetty. And he talks about values. Okay. So it's really important that we write out our values and what's important to us, but we must live them. So he talks about this. He talks about doing an audit of your life. No matter what you think your values are, your actions tell the real story. What we do with our spare time shows what we value. For instance, you might put spending time with your family at the top of your list of values. But if you spend all your free time playing golf, your actions don't match your values and you need to do some self examination. really powerful. And so it's the same with when people, I ask women on the calls, I do free coaching calls, 1 hour calls with women. And I always ask them, do you value your health? Sometimes they say, no, not enough. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm stuck. Other times they say yes, but I do push in a bit. And I say, can you say you value your health when you're eating lousy foods and you're whatever 50 pounds or 100 pounds overweight? Are you valuing your health? Are you valuing your life, your future, your aging years? No, you're not. And it sounds really simple, but it really is profound when you look at what's important to you. I always say the two best things you can do for your body are moving your body and feeding it well. Those are the truest acts of self-love. This body is our vessel. It takes us through this life. Where would we be without it? And so we want to make more money. We want to have a great relationship. We want to look and feel great, but we must have the values in place: integrity, honesty, self-reflection, discipline, commitment, self-care. All of those, kindness, need to be in place, and we need to constantly circulate through them. So in my work with women, we write them out. We write out our values because, and then we pin them up on the wall. Mine are pinned up over there on my office mirror because I always need to remind myself why I'm here, why I'm doing what I do, how I'm living this life. And I'll tell you, sometimes I falter like everybody else. I move into child energy. I move into victimhood. I get angry. I complain. Yes, I go down the rabbit hole like everybody else, but I get out fast now. Or I can tiptoe across to that rabbit hole and look down and go, no, I'm making a choice here. Not today. It's not worth my energy. It's not that important. And I have to return to center, grounded, return to myself and what is truly important to me. And this is how we teach our children. This is how we move the needle forward in humanity, because humanity needs some help here because we're kind of moving backwards in a lot of different ways. But our goal is always to wake up every day, put one foot in front of the other, and recognize why we're here, what we can offer ourselves and others, because I truly believe we're all here to serve in one way or another, and what's important to us. And so living from those values that you tuck in your pocket, close to your heart, is super important. It will never lead you astray. And so when you reach for that bonbon or that brownie, you can reach for it because you want a brownie, and it's okay to have once in a while. I have one of those big honkin' muffins from Whole Foods once in a while. I love it. But if I did it every day, I would break a promise to myself and I'd feel pretty lousy about it. Sure, it's great in the moment because you get that dopamine hit and then everything else falls away. You don't think about the bad day. It's your comfort food, like you're in that warm embrace, and then it stops. And then you're on the other side of it going, oh shit, I did it again. Why did I do that? How come I'm so weak? Why can't I get a hold of this? And we go, right? And there we go, down that rabbit hole once again. And so I no longer want to live in that place. I want to make myself proud. And, I'm at, I don't know, 80 to 90%. There's still those parts. That's called being human, guys. You ain't ever going to be perfect, and we don't live in enlightenment. We slip. I call it the ebb and flow of life. And we learn that that's part of life as well. But we want to live longer over here than over here. And it is about being conscious. I talk about this a lot. Most people are unconscious in their world, guys. The emotional and the soul and the spiritual pieces are separate from their body, their career, their status, how much money they make. None of that really matters. It's fun and we can certainly aspire to it. But what I find is sometimes those are the most unhinged and unhappy people because they have put the externals in place of the internal. And what we want is we want an alignment with both. It's great having lots of money and lots of travel and lots of beautiful things. We're meant to have that. I never belittle anybody about it. If women or people do, then they're just resentful or they're feeling like it's easy for them and not for me. You got to let go of all that, guys. Just let it go. Just stop it, because you'll never get it if you're always pushing it away and not thankful for that other people have it. It's just another universal law. So this is about waking up. This is about owning your values and operating from your values and what's important to you. I always want to live an honest, open life. And as a coach, I I live by that, but it gets me in trouble because I say stuff or I push women or I call them out and go, that's not true. You can't say that. Look at what's going on here. Now, we do it from a place of love and we do it with kindness and wise words. But sometimes it needs to be called out, and it shortcuts the process of becoming who you're meant to be, because it can be like, let's just rip that out right now. Let's just, nope, we're not doing that. You're not saying that. Why are you saying that? It's a deflection. It's a resistance. It's you not wanting to be accountable and do the work. Let it go. Just let it go. And I do that with myself all the time. I'm always pruning my own garden. And sometimes it hurts. It sucks, man. But if I'm not doing it with myself, then how can I be doing it with my clients? Right? It would be hypocritical. So to live a deep, rich, full life is a responsibility, but it does come with work and it comes with sometimes hardship, and sometimes you get stung, and it's not a straight line. It never, ever is. Weight loss isn't a straight line. Making money isn't a straight line. Happy relationship and marriage is not a straight line. Okay, it's more like this. But as long as you're going up, then you're okay, right? So consider your values, write them down, what's important to you, and have them with you on a piece of paper or however you want to do it on your phone. Personally, I don't want to be on my electronics all the time. I'm a pen and paper gal, right? I swear to God, 3M and Post-it notes, they make a living off of me. That works for me. And I write them down and I journal a ton. I have like 5 journals in a corner over there. And me and our mastery gals in my mastery program are constantly reading and doing. Okay. Knowing and doing are 2 different things. So you got to know your values, but then you got to do them. You got to live them. That is where it is woven into the fabric of who we are. And that is living a rich, deep, authentic life in a healthy body with a healthy heart and a loving spirit. Okay, you guys, be well. Thanks for listening. Ciao.